My first video finished. I didn't even say goodbye to anyone, but that was because I think my battery got a little bit low, so I'll see how this one goes. So I'll continue on the second rose. So I'm mixing white with touch of cadmium red light and cadmium yellow deep, just to go through the brightest petals. Here I paint them as a mass. And the lightest part here. A little bit cooler. Try to drag the petal here. So I'm using the ridge of my brush to do the petal. And then there is a nice cool petal here as well. Maybe I put it too far originally, so now I'm going to move it slightly back here. And then I know that there is another bud over there and background, so I'll just kind of drag background in here, and then I'll paint that bud over. That bud is hardly seen of that rose, so I'll just do kind of indication of it. And I know there is some green there, so again I hardly see it, but I'll just make this. And then at the top it's a little bit like this. So my light here, not perfect of course as always, it keeps changing. Because it's at the background, the contrasts are not high, so I just kind of move it a little bit, and then I will move some background in this area. Okay, so I'll take a smaller brush for a short time, I hope, and do a little bit of the main petal here that goes in the light. It kind of goes like this, and then of course I need to put this pink back. It's quite well packed rose. And I don't want to lose this deeper brown red middle, so I'm going to kind of curve it into it. And add a little bit of those petals under there. Just indicate the edge of some petals where the majority of light falls. So now I'm going to again go back to my background and just go around this rose and see where I can correct the shape a little. I think that should be enough. you can see the light color, like white color, it cools it straight away. So I'm putting my, and I will go back to those roses again with small brush. I'll let the paint settle a little, and I'll continue working on the background rose that was kind of turned to the back and has lots of light colors in it, but they're all not very saturated colors. So I'm going to take some of this white. Actually, I'm going to add a little bit white and yellow and green and mix of pink, because I only want to give a little indication of this rose, not too much. So I'm adding a little bit more cad yellow dip to green and do this part. Because it's so dark that it's almost like gray and very even close to background in the valley, but background is still darker, so I have to carve this rose with background a little more. And probably bring up value over this rose a little bit higher. Just a little, at least at the area where the light falls. So I'm using various mixtures of green, yellow and brown for shadows. This touch of pink where needed. Not that dark. And then going back and forth with carving the rose. Those pinks, but they're more muted, those pinks, than the one that I put originally. I'm using some terra rosa and some white, actually. For these petals. Kind of curving back, some of them. Yeah, I think it will work for now. So I'm going to go back to my last one. I'm going to go to using viridian and some brown and cad yellow dip. Going to this rose because it's already, actually I think it's changed a little, surprisingly. Again, I'm still working thin because I can put the thickest parts later.